Tonight you wish to slay the creature that lay before you, he said in a low, raspy voice. But do you dare face the agony of those you have already slain? Man, demon, whatever you are, be gone, Demona said, still unafraid of this new hellish entity. I answered to no one. Ghost Rider then took the chain from off his jacket and engulfed it in flames, then hurled it above his head like a lariat. In answer to this, he then whipped the flaming chain at Demona. Demona dodged the flames, only to get one of her feet scorched by the intense heat. The trio had looks of both relief and excitement on their faces. This guy was on their side. What about Goliath? Isn't he part of the trio, or would it be a never mind. They could use more allies. Demona kept on dodging the flaming chain as Ghost Rider kept on whipping it at her. Then, seeing as this was a waste of his time, he hurled the chain back towards him and wrapped it back around his jacket. I grow tired of these games, he said. Demona snarled in anger. As am I, she yelled. You are not taking me. I haven't waited 1,000 years just to have some flame-headed freak to stand between me and my revenge. Your heart has been poisoned by darkness, Ghost Rider said. It is my task to stop those who do evil, such as you. You will do nothing about me. Only they know, Demona said, pointing at the 4 gargoyles. Wrong. I know everything about you. But it is not the gargoyles that are the reason I am here tonight. My allegiance is to a higher authority, and I shall take you in, no matter what it takes. I don't think so, Demona. I don't think so. Demona then ran and grabbed Lexington by the neck. The neck is not a word. You have to separate it with a space. It just has the neck as one word. Let's continue. Then took off into the night sky. Lex, the other 2 gargoyles who were with him, screamed in horror. Why'd she take Lex? Wouldn't she take the one who's injured? Maybe he was closer. Okay, let's continue. Ghost Rider then began chasing Demona on foot. Goliath, Broadway, and Brooklyn followed suit. Followed suit? I don't know. Ghost Rider then jumped up and grabbed onto Demona's legs, forcefully pulling her down onto the concrete roof. Demona refused to release Lexington, even when she crashed to the roof. Her eyes glowed a bright red as she faced the flaming figure who approached her and her hostage. Now, said Ghost Rider, do you agree to surrender to me quietly and peacefully, or do I have to do what is necessary? Never, Demona said, tightening her grip around Lexington's neck. Just then, Ghost Rider's eyes began to glow yellow. Then, you give me no other choice. Suddenly, his eyes shot out bright beams of fire into Demona's eyes. Demona screamed in pain as the bright hot beams of fire entered her corneas and began to burn her brain from the inside. Feel the torment of a billion extinguished souls, Ghost Rider yelled as fire continued to shoot from his eye sockets. Experience the pain of internal guilt. Wait a minute. Okay, it says, feel the torment of a billion extinguished souls. Then it ends the sentence with Ghost Rider yelled as fire continued to shoot from his eye sockets. Then it has a period, and then it says experience the pain of internal guilt, and it has, one of the quotations, but where's the first quotation? I don't know. You need to check these things, people. Check your grammar and your layout and make sure the quotations are where they're supposed to be, and yada yada yada. Let's continue to read. Demona continued to scream, releasing Lexington from her grip. Past images began running through her mind, including her betrayal of Goliath, of what remains of the clan now living in New York. All the torment, all the grief, all the people she had murdered throughout the centuries were now getting their revenge on her. Demona was getting a taste of her own medicine. Soon Ghost Rider stopped the beams and Demona fell to the ground with her face in her hands. For a while no one knew if it was grief or something else, but they could see a stream of seeping from in between her fingers. My task is complete, was all Ghost Rider said. Goliath walked up to the flaming biker and extended his hand. Thank you, Ghost Rider, he said kindly. We would not have been able to defeat Demona without you. Is she dead? Asked Lexington. No, answered Ghost Rider. She has experienced all the pain and suffering she has caused throughout the millennium. She will bother you no longer. Really? Brooklyn asked, stunned. How is that possible? You will all find out. when your time comes," said Ghost Rider. He then mounted his motorcycle and turned to Demona, who was still unconscious. "I leave you now, Demona, in mortal hands." Soon he revved up his motorcycle and drove off the building, never to be seen again. Goliath had to think of a possible place to keep her locked up and secured. He, out of all gargoyles, wanted Demona to pay for her crimes. Other than a few errors here and there, this fanfic was actually quite good. Like I said before, though, it was co-written. So Huey Lewis, he may have written this, but someone else wrote it for him. And I mean, I know, Huey, you explained to me why you have people co-write a story, but try to get out of your comfort zone and write a story that you wrote purely by yourself. Because, I mean, you know, I read Beauty and the Beast, that was really good. I read this was really good. You need to come out of your shell a little bit more. Just challenge yourself. You don't have to write a huge novel, just write a one-shot. I mean, I could probably check out more of your stories and see if you've written one, but, you know, just try to write a story on your own. Then you'll probably enjoy it. So, people, overall, this was a pretty good fanfic. Like I said before, some issues and a couple things made no sense, but other than that, it was pretty good. And you want to know what? I'm curious. I mean, this one-shot could probably use a sequel to it. It was very creative. Very creative. And, you know, having the two universes cross over actually kind of can make sense. Because, you know, Ghost Rider takes place in... I think it takes place in New York. I haven't seen the movie in a while. Not exactly a great movie, but yeah, the crossover works. The characters, from what I read, seemed in character, although I don't really remember much about Gargoyles, but I remember it being a pretty dark show. So yeah, this was a pretty good fanfic. Thumbs up. Yay! Oh my god, and this is a refresher compared to the last fanfic I had to read. Ugh. Barney vs. Pokemon. Don't ask why people write stories like that. I do not understand why, because, you know, they just feel like it's like, oh, let's write a stupid story. Yeah, but this story was not stupid. This was a good story. Well, I'm the fanfic critic. I read it, you listen. Ooh, a nickel.